Positive, soul-lifting vibes only. Here is wishing everybody a very, very lovely day. How have you been? I like to take my time when I ask that question because honestly, I like you to ask yourself, how have I been? How am I feeling? What's going on through my mind or what's going on in my mind? And so on. It's good for us sometimes to ask ourselves to truly know how we are feeling and take care of those things that may just be making us feel the way we shouldn't be feeling. This is Life is Good.
Life is good.
Yes, so life is truly good. And there are things that could even make life better. Especially if your children are happy, the house will be happier. Abby? So today we'll be bringing you a lady who does something special to make the children learn, feel good, and know about things they should know about. Her name is Bola Edwards. But in the circle I'm talking about, she's known as Grandma Wura. Iwo will continue from where she stopped last week, telling us something that will make our lives, our bodies a lot better. All on the program, Life is Good. My name is Cordelia Okpei, your guide on the show.
Life is good.
Let's move on now to join Grandma Wura, Bola Edwards. Bola, welcome to Life is Good.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here.
It's been a while, huh?
Yes, it has. It has. A long while.
Great to have you on the program. Now,
Yes,
I just said
great
something
to be
that you teach children in a way that not many of us would have imagined. Tell us a bit about it.
Okay, so basically, being an actor, a theater arts graduate, for my business, part of what I do with the Proud African Roots is that we've created a grandma character called Grandma Wura. And so I get to play Grandma Wura, a grandmother who tells stories to children in the most colorful ways that you can imagine.
I remember the first time we met, this was what caused the meeting. Grandma was the reason behind that meeting, and it's some years now. When it started, how did children and their parents see you when you come out dressed like a grandma? In fact, like a Saro-looking grandma.
Okay, so basically... we tested Grandma Wura before we brought her out into the public. We tested her on different platforms and we needed to see how the children reacted to her and how they received her. So we had various kinds of costumes that we tried out. And the ones that didn't work, we knew they were not working. So we had to go back to the drawing board and we needed to really creates a costume that the children would love, would be colorful, would be pretty, because these children are so Walt Disney and all of that. So we needed to create something that was really African, yet very attractive to them. And so when they saw, first of all, when you hear Grandma Wura, one old woman coming to. But Grandma Wura had another spice to her. She's not the normal kind of grandma that the children are used to, their own grandmothers. They see a feisty grandmother who sings all sorts of music genres. They see a grandma who dances, is as active as they want her to be, and she's very colorful, pretty, and, made up.
Okay, can we quickly invite Grandma Wura to come now, and I'll be the 6-year-old.
Life is good.
Hello, Grandma Wura.
Hello, my darling. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine, Grandma. I love your hair, Grandma Wura.
Oh, my goodness. You love my hair. Do you know that today when I woke up, I was getting ready to meet with you. And I decided that I needed to look really beautiful for you.
Ooh, thank you.
Yes, do you like my flower?
Yes, I do, Grandma.
Oh my goodness, that flower on my headgear represents you.
Ooh.
You are that flower on my headgear.
Oh,
You
Thank
are
you,
as
Grandma.
beautiful as that flower.
Thank you, Grandma.
You are
You're
most
beautiful
welcome.
too. Grandma,
Thank you.
my mommy always talks about something called COVID. What is COVID-19, Grandma?
Oh my goodness. COVID-19 is a little tiny monster called a virus in the virus colony. And COVID was not respected in the virus colony. And so, because everyone would always laugh at him, he decided he would make himself very dangerous. And then get into the human world and begin to infect all of them with all sorts of symptoms so that he would gain more respect. And so
That is
COVID
wicked, Grandma.
very, very wicked, my darling. So, I'm going to teach you a song that says Corona, which is another form of COVID, another name for COVID-19, would not get to you and would not get to me. Are you ready to learn the song?
Yes, Grandma.
So that song is going to teach you how we must fight COVID-19, how we must fight Corona. Now, let's go. Corona, Corona, coronavirus. Corona, Corona, coronavirus. One get to you, one get to me, one gets to us. Oh, wash your hands, don't touch your... Okay, I've forgotten that part of the song. But there is a song anyway that, we had to create for Grandma Wura brand, which says, oh, wash your hands, don't touch your face, use a sanitizer. You see, I've forgotten the song myself.
It's enough to forget because I know the time you brought that out, I saw different people sharing it.
Yes, it's almost a tongue twister. But anyway, it's on the site, and the song was something a lot of parents sent, replied back to us and said, "Oh, my children love that song. I've been trying to teach them what COVID was, and they don't get it until I got them to listen to the story, Corona's Big Break, which is the title of the story, and then they also learned the song."
I see that you're doing something that a lot of parents ought to have been doing with their children, because when we're younger, they will tell us stories and teach us things via songs and all that. But parents hardly have time for that now. But what would be a small tip you could give to them on how to let children still see this part of African living, of family living, storytelling and all that?
Okay, so something I found out about storytelling is that it's so therapeutic, and our ancestors used it in the most intelligent ways. Back in those days, when they gathered us under the moonlight and told us stories, they were not wasting time or trying to buy time. They were being intentional. They were instilling values in us, and they put them in stories. Everybody wants to hear a good gist. Human beings are wired naturally for stories, and that's why you would see everybody's on social media. They're listening to one content or watching one content or the other. And so for the children as well, if you want to instill any specific thing into the child, you need to put it in a story. While my children were growing up, I realized that they enjoyed when I told them stories, and I saw how it affected them. Sometimes when I ran out of stories, I had to start telling them about things that happened to me when I was little. And those things actually stayed with them. They were so excited to see the little girl that I was. They were so excited. It was almost like an honor to meet that little girl, and said, "Mommy, you really did that. That really happened to you. You experienced that." It was an honor for them to meet that little girl. That's why we're in business as well, to create solutions, because we know the world just keeps getting busier and busier, and we know sometimes parents might not be able to really, really tell those stories, and not everybody is a fantastic storyteller anyway. So that's why we created the Grandma Wura brand as well. So Grandma Wura is able to help, especially in the society that we are today. Values are gone out the window. And if we're going to do anything, if we're going to enjoy economic prosperity as a country, as a nation, we need to start with the families. We need to start with the children because they are the workforce for tomorrow. They are the leaders for tomorrow. And so storytelling plays a huge part, I tell you, in nation building.
I agree, because when we tell our own stories, we wouldn't wait for some other person in the guise of one news network or the other to tell us stories about ourselves that are not exactly very true, or they have colored to suit themselves. Before I let you go, Grandma Wura, Bola Edwards, I know you had a stage, a musical recently.
It's called Story Theatre with Grandma Wura, and it's a full musical with all the lights and all the costumes and build sets and a lot of dancing, live musical. It's actually a live musical. And so we've created that as an extension of Grandma Wura storytelling. So usually Grandma Wura goes on school tours, and when children see Grandma Wura, she comes to the school, she talks to them at assembly time. Then they know that they can also go to the theater to see Grandma Wura's stories come alive. And they see all the characters in the story. They see the ants dancing and marching. And, they see all sorts of stories. They see the set, because it's always so amazing when they can see what you're talking about. And they see the costumes. They hear the music from whatever setting it is the story is being set. And it's always an amazing time. And one of the reasons we created Story Theatre was because of the fact that, everybody's on their gadgets these days. The children are on their iPads, and so you're either on your phone, all of that is just going on. And we stopped talking. Remember the days of the Tales by Moonlight? And when we would be running home and would watch Tales by Moonlight with our parents and would discuss these things. That is not happening so much anymore. And so Story Theatre was something we created as a result of what is going on now in the families. And we give the families and everyone something to talk about when you leave the theatre. We get a lot of feedback from parents and saying the children are still singing the songs from Story Theatre. They loved this particular character, because after the show, they take pictures with the characters as well. They come up stage, they take pictures with all the characters, the singing tree, the frogs and everything. It's just amazing. And we also have feedback from people abroad who visited and watched Story Theatre, and they say, why should I travel abroad to go and watch Walt Disney when I already have Walt Disney in the country, in my country, in Nigeria? So it's that kind of high quality production.
Nice. I congratulate you for the work you've done, and I'm believing that you'll do even more. Is there a place people could go to see you, follow you, and all that?
Absolutely. Follow Grandma Wura at Grandma Wura on Instagram or Facebook. You can also watch our YouTube contents on PAR Network. That's Proud African Roots, PAR. You can also follow at proud_African_roots on Instagram, as well as on Facebook.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. We've been speaking with Bola Edwards, also known as Grandma Wura. Thank you very much for coming on the program, and I really do wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure being on the show.
Thank you.
Life is good.
Iwo, the Queen herself, is set to take us through things we need to know to make our physical and mental health better.
Yes, it's another time again with you, and I am always excited to be here. I remain Queen Iwo, your savvy coach with a heart. And last week we started to talk about obesity, and we will continue from today. Obesity can be severe, which means that the individual is at high risk of chronic illnesses and possible death if not handled immediately and effectively. Once obesity is established, there are physical mechanisms that take hold, making it very difficult to lose weight. As people gain weight, damage occurs to the signaling pathways between the fat cells, the stomach, and the intestine, as well as the brain. The brain is unable to tell how much food is coming in and how much fat is stored. It is quite interesting to see obese people eat even more of unhealthy foods for the same fact that the body has become so used to unhealthy food, not minding the adverse effect which make them crave it even more, and the vicious cycle continues. But the truth is, obesity is costly and deadly. It will bring loads of chronic illnesses, depression, low self-esteem, a laid-back approach to life, an increase of appetite towards the wrong foods. You just name it. Do you know that every 15 extra kilograms increase the risk of early death by approximately 30%? The age we live in is fast-paced, and with the ever-changing dynamics of products and services offered, we now have plenty of options to make life easier. Everything we want to do is now so convenient that we'll exert little energy to get what we want. People tend to sit more, eat more, and exercise less. A lack of energy balance most often causes overweight and obesity. Energy balance means that your energy in equals your energy out. Energy in is simply the amount of energy or calories you get from food and drinks. Energy out is the amount of energy your body uses for things like breathing, digesting, and being physically active. If the food you eat provides more calories than your body needs, the excess is converted to fat. Initially, fat cells increase in size. When they can no longer expand, they increase in number. The more they increase in number, the more obese people get even more obese. But the fact that one is obese today does not mean that one must remain obese. It can all change. The moment you decide is the moment change begins. I will come your way again by God's grace next time. Remember to visit my YouTube channel where you get more information and fun things to do to enjoy your journey. Fit, fab, and alive word. And you find me on Instagram or Facebook. Until then, God keep you safe. Now it's over to you, Cordelia.
Thank you very much, Iwo, for coming on the program today, and thank you for sharing with us. Hopefully, we'll be doing all what you've asked us to do and definitely live better lives.
Life is good.
Time to go on the program, but before then, my thoughts. I think parents should once in a while sit with their children and share stories with them. Maybe their own childhood stories, for the children to know that they too are human, and what they as children are doing too is a part of childhood, but they could learn from what they are doing to be better people. Share stories with them, stories about the tortoise. We had those. Let's do our own tales by moonlight in our homes, because children learn a lot from those stories. Traffic, yes, I know, but that free time you have, Saturday, Sunday, create time for them. Thank you so much as you try to do that. Well, I believe you need now on the program Life is Good, but let the philosophy continue that life is good and that when there is life, there is hope. Keep it alive, my friend. I'll see you next time. Till I come away again, thank you again for listening, and to the team, thank you so much.
Life is good.
Positive, soul-lifting vibes only.